Oh, we've got something special on the workbench today. Check it out. It is the Team Associated, the rival, the MT8. Lots of folks have had the MT10, the 10th scale version of this truck. Team Associated has come out with an 8th scale of this super durable truck. I cannot wait to get this thing out of this box and give it a shot. That is what we are doing today. First drive of the Team Associated Rival MT8. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Troy. This is Roadside RC. You'll see me tend to do on the channel growling and bashing and drifting and racing, plus product review videos and how-tos. First thing for today, we're going to get this truck out of the box. We have got to see what is in it. You can see all the documentation on the side. It tells us all these characteristics, that it's a lipo and it's pre-painted body, and who cares? Let's get it open. Let's see what's inside. Look at that thing. That is, it really is. I mean, it's literally a bigger version of the MT10. Tires, I'm really loving this tread design here. Body comes in. I noticed the roof skids, plastic roof skids here, plastic tailgate protector here, all to help make your body last longer. Big durable bumper up front, and you'll see here poking through 2 LEDs. So you actually do come with headlights already installed. And we flop it around to the rear here. Big nasty wheelie bar. It is 4-way adjustable. That is awesome. And I am seeing wires poking through here, so we actually have 2 brake lights in the rear also. Very, very cool right there. Straight out of the box, you can tell Team Associated. Look at the shocks. Oh my gosh. Plush. You can tell the racing pedigree behind it there. I'm noticing these little lug covers here. We're gonna have to read the manual and figure out how do we get the wheels off, but it is nice, a little nice touch there. It gives you a little bit more of a finished look compared to the exposed nuts. But if I'm honest, it's probably gonna get lost in time, right? We're gonna be taking the wheels on and off. We're gonna roll under the workbench, something like that. I don't know if that's really super necessary. As normal, coming in the box, you'll get a wheel wrench. You get a couple, Allen keys there, things to work with. Owner's manual for that 150 amp ESC that comes with it. We have the manual for the controller, and of course the manual for the whole vehicle. True to hobby grade and Team Associated's reputation, I do want to show you through here on the manual. Even though this comes as a ready-to-run vehicle, it gives you all of these step-by-step directions as how to assemble this truck with part numbers and everything as if it was a kit. So what's really awesome about that is if you ever have issues with any part of this truck, you have the full assembly manual plus part numbers, everything, even which exact screws go where through the whole piece of it. It even gets into when you come back here, you're putting the body on and what are the parts of the body, but also tuning tips with, setting camber, setting Ackerman, setting the gear mesh, all this other kind of stuff, all right in the manual. That is part of what you get when you get a high grade kit like something like this from Team Associated. The radio that comes with it is this Team Associated, the XP120. It's actually the same radio that I got with my Element Ecto Crawler. Also, Element and Team Associated are the same company. So it's been good. It fits the hand well, lightweight, has a couple trim knobs and things, dual rates and all that kind of stuff that you can mess with here, but nothing too dramatic. You will need to supply the 4 AA batteries to get yourself up and running. Transitioning under the body, we get a whole nother look of this vehicle. If we start here at the corners, again, you're going to see, just amazingly plush shocks. You will see plastic shock towers, plastic diff cases. We do have aluminum front and rear hinge pin holders. A lot of the kind of normal, truggy 8th scale vehicle stuff that we're seeing here. We have a tower-to-tower braces here that actually come into the center diff. Not one big tower across, but 2 pieces there. Interesting design there. Center diff, motor, all in the middle. As you typically kind of expect. Metal drive shafts with diff cups going front and rear. A very kind of, I'm going to call it complex and protective battery tray, it looks like here. So we have full surround front and rear battery tray parts, plus this top plate with Velcro straps going through it. I mean, that should, if your battery comes out of that, you've done something wrong. When it comes to the electronics, we are looking at this Ready 2513 MG servo. It's a 25 kg metal geared servo in a full mounting case here. Very solid mounting position. Should be, with this metal horn on here, metal gears plus metal horn, should be very strong for us. Going over to a typical wiper kind of setup, steering with a built-in servo saver, adjustable tension servo saver right here. That's one of the things we'll be looking at, is how to adjust that. Moving right rearward, we see a receiver box, one clip here, cover can hinge up and you can get to your receiver. Good and bad, super easy access, but it also doesn't look like, I'm not seeing a bunch of, like a grommet or anything here or around the outside to tell me that this is 100% waterproof. It looks like it's probably very splash proof, but if you submarine this thing, I'm thinking water's getting in there. A little bit more rearward yet, we do find this 2100 kV 4-pole motor from Ready, mounted up into what looks to be kind of Arma-esque sliding motor mount right here. Comes with an 11 to 32 pitch pinion on it from the factory. So we will see, we'll run it and we will see how fast it is with that. And we'll probably investigate what it looks like to put maybe some different pinions on there to up the speed even more. You'll notice no motor heatsink or motor fan on it. It does have the ribbed motors, the ribbed can, so that is nice. But we could probably pretty easily mount a fan on here, and we would easily be able to access the receiver for power clearly. On the other side over here is the SC1500BL power supply. If I am correct, if I remember correctly, these are both rebranded Hobby Wings. This is 150 amp ESC. The thing I will notice though is it is all the way up to 6S capable, this truck, but we have one Dean's connector here as the whole connection for the whole thing. I'm really used to vehicles this size having dual plugs so that you can run like 2 3S batteries in order to get to 6S, and it is not set up for that at all. Plus, we're supposed to be putting 6S 150 amps through a single Dean's plug? Team Associate, I'm a little curious about your design choice here. That doesn't seem like enough. I will be replacing this with XT90 anyway because that's what all my batteries are standard on. And I think while I'm at it, I'm probably gonna dual it so that we can run 2 3S's through it. Because just a single Dean's, that doesn't seem right to me. So we'll be working on that pretty quickly. Again, as we move to the rear, again, those beautiful big shocks. I will note that both the front and rear shock towers don't give you really any adjustments. You have this single mounting point, and that is it. Your bottom control arms actually do have a couple different choices for mounting points. That's good. You will also see here that it looks like it has provisions for a sway bar that is not currently installed. The diff case has the ability, the control arms have the spot for it, but it is not there. We're going to finish this up with a look at the bottom of the chassis here. Honestly, you got the aluminum chassis. We do have some molding into it to help it with the strength and to secure some components. What I really like here, front and rear skid plates installed already from the factory to help you with the durability of your chassis. Plus, look at these skids right here in the center. That is awesome. Let's wear those down, and you notice they actually screw in from the top. One of my biggest pet peeves is we tend to put these skid plates on here with the screws in from the bottom. As that skid plate wears, you wear the dang screw heads off also. It makes it really hard to maintain. Look at these right here in the center with the screws coming in from the top. That, I like that. That is really, really nice. You also have these big, beefy side plastic trays on here, all that help really with that, keeping all the dirt dirt and grit and grime out, but they're also super thick and very strong, so you're not going to be breaking those or doing any damage to them anytime soon. Now we're going to get to a couple things that are a little unfortunate or potentially intriguing on this truck. So I pointed out these covers earlier, and I said, well, we're gonna have to figure out how we get those off of this truck, right? So I tried to pry them. I came in here and I tried to get a screwdriver to see if they just pop loose. Nope. I came in with the included wrench to see, does it fit on there, and do we just unscrew it? Nope, it doesn't fit on there. There's nothing in the manual that tells you how these things come loose. So again, I pried a little bit more. Nothing really happened. I even got in here because there's some itty bitty little holes here, and I mean I can't physically turn it with my fingers. Like, I can't get enough grip on that in any way to turn it. So I came in here with the screwdriver, and I was able to push and move it a little bit. Okay, great. So now it moves, it turns, but is that actually loosening it up or not? I don't know. So I finally got frustrated, honestly frustrated, which is not a good thing. And I stuck the screwdriver in here and just pow, and I got one off. And I broke it. So it looks like this is actually a threaded in part that goes in the end of the axle nut here. And I just broke that off in there. So now I get to figure out how to get the rest of this piece out of there in case I ever need to remove this axle. And I'm going to be super frustrated as I then try to figure out how to get these off of the rest of the truck. And they will never go back on. So Team Associated, if you are listening, you're probably not, but if you are, just throw these things away or give us a better way of getting them off. Here's the big bombshell with the MT8 that I think is really, really interesting, and I didn't really see this one coming. So we know that a lot of our RC vehicles are manufactured overseas, right? I am in the United States. We recognize, you can even see it on the box half the time. If you get the big brown box when your truck comes in, I don't care what brand you own, if it's Traxxas, if it's Arma, if it's a High Boxing, if it's a Team, wherever, a lot of the times you can even see on the side of the box, made in China, right? I'm assuming these aren't all independently owned manufacturing facilities, assuming that they are all, you know, shared to some degree. But this I did not expect between Red Cat and Team Associated. So I have recently on the channel had a bunch of videos with the brand new Red Cat Kaiju EXT. Honestly, really solid truck once we fix a couple issues on it. Really solid, budget-oriented basher. At the end of the video or down in the description, I'll provide some links to it so you can see more about it. What I didn't expect is how much of that Red Cat Kaiju EXT I see in this truck. So it becomes very obvious first off with the receiver box. It's the exact same design receiver box that's in that Kaiju. That got me looking. As I look at these control arms, those are the exact same upper control arms, and I can even, this is a replacement part that I have from my Kaiju. When you look at that, that is literally the exact same part. Maybe it's a different plastic, or, you know, maybe you can make some arguments like that, but that's exactly the same design. Now, this was an issue on the Kaiju, but it wasn't an issue with the plastic part that I have in my hand. It was the metal turnbuckle that wasn't strong, and you can clearly see here from Team Associated that is a completely different design than what we had with the Red Cat. It looks bigger, it looks beefier, definitely a different metal. But it doesn't end there. As I continue to look at it, this whole front assembly and the whole rear assembly look almost identical. I think the control arms are the same control arms. The diff case here, what really got me to noticing about that is how I mentioned that it is sway bar ready. And so you can see the sway bar mounts there, and I was like, wait a second. I did that upgrade to my Kaiju EXT. I put the sway bars on it, and guess what? It looked just like this. So if you look at this side by side with a picture from the Red Cat Kaiju, that's the same. It's a different front bumper. The shock tower up here is redesigned a little bit. The more I look at it, the shocks even look like the same shocks. These turnbuckles look like the same turnbuckles. When you come back here to the rear of the truck, the wheelie bar is the same wheelie bar. Now, it looks a little bit different on the Kaiju because the Kaiju has a different rear bumper and it has a wing back here. So it looks a little bit different, but the design of this pivot at the bottom with the adjustable mounting holes here for the wheelie bar, I'm pretty sure that's the same. Like, at the end of the day, the center chassis here on the Team Associated versus the Kaiju is very, very different. You got your metal chassis, whereas the Kaiju is a plastic tub. The motor is forward facing with the gear towards the front and the center diff here, whereas the Kaiju has all that spun around and it's back here in the end. So in the middle here, we're seeing a lot of differences. But the rear housing assembly, the front diff assembly in front, that all looks very, very, very similar, if not almost the exact same as the Red Cat Kaiju EXT. Seriously. I've seen similarities in vehicles before that were kind of there, but like, I didn't expect that one. I didn't expect it to be so blatantly shared between a Team Associated and a Red Cat. And let me be honest when I say that though, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. That Kaiju EXT was a very solid vehicle, especially for the price point. And this Team Associated's only something, if I remember correctly, $20, $30 more expensive than the Kaiju. So like, both of them really are a really good value. I don't think you're really going to go wrong with either one of them, honestly, for a general use daily basher. We've looked over the truck. I've soldered on the XT90 connectors that I want. I got a 4S Ovonic Rebel battery in here. It is time to turn on the controller. The truck is on. Steering works. I have headlights. I have tail lights. Let's see if we pick it up. Oh, it moves. Let's get the battery on it and let's go give this thing a shot. So it wheelies hard even just on 4S. So running around my front yard here in what is kind of like my typical kind of like test course, it really handles quite well. I'm thinking the diff fluid in all three diffs is pretty thin, and so turning is really, really good. When you get on the power, it will transfer some to the front, but and you can see the front tires ballooning up a little bit, but it also means you can come out of the corner and you can hammer it. You do need to watch a little bit for wheelies though, because this thing does want to wheelie like crazy. I think it's time to go to the backyard. I bet we have some backflips in our future. Oh, it backflips without even trying. Boom! Oh, double backflip like it was nothing. Double backflips, easy, easy, easy on 4S. Can you imagine this thing on 6S? Really, really, really hope I got that on camera. That was one nasty front flip. That's... Oh, ouch. Oh. It lives. It lives. There we go. Come on. First run is in the books, and I'm going to be honest, I did not expect this truck to be this wild or that ruckus and crazy on 4S. Everything you just saw was 100% on 4S. Can you imagine what this thing is going to do on 6S? Cleaned the truck up. It was quite muddy out there today, so got the truck all cleaned up, kind of doing a post-run inspection. Couple things I'll note. So as you really flex and really hit hard, this body tended to get caught on top of these light pods up here. I think long-term owning this, what I would probably do is just trim this bottom bumper. I doubt that anything past that would get caught on there. So if you just trim this around right here, you will end up not having that get caught on the bumper anymore. Should help protect your body. In regards to the body, look at this nasty, nasty gash here. So you saw me go for like the second or third front flip, and that didn't work so well. When it hit, it actually hit so hard that it came through and it actually punched a hole in the body using this upper shock tower. I mean, it just literally knocked it through. That's my guess. That's the only thing I can figure, except it kind of looks like it went this way. I don't know, maybe I hit a stick. Either way, as normal, you will need to reinforce these bodies in here. I'm going to be putting some tape all around those holes and other reinforcement areas just to help it out. Otherwise, the truck comes back completely unscathed. It's currently wet still here on the inside because I just rinsed it off. But it looks great. Everything is strong. Nothing broke. That truck did just amazing out there. I'm really, really happy with it. Literally no damage. Last minute notice. Oh man, check this out. So I was actually getting ready. You can see I'm putting race tires on it. We're getting ready to take this thing to the track tonight to have some fun with it at the track. And look at that rear turnbuckle. Oh man, this is honestly, this is just like the Red Cat Kaiju. The plastic turnbuckles are completely and utterly fine. It is the metal turnbuckle that is actually bent. In the Kaiju, it would snap. The Red Cat fixed it with a stronger metal that honestly I couldn't break. So it looks like if you get the MT8, what you're going to want to do is probably pick up some of the newest edition Red Cat Kaiju EXT rear control arms as spares, because they already fixed this issue that Team Associated doesn't yet know that they have. So I am going to throw a new one in here and get it back and running. What I found out when I was doing this for the Red Cat is that these Lunsford titanium turnbuckles, super strong, 4x50 millimeters, were just right to fit in here. Were super strong, literally almost couldn't break them. So I'm just going to take out this Team Associated part, screw in the Lunsford one, and we'll be back up and running. All I've got to say with all this is Traxxas who an Arma who, as this thing sits, it's, what is it? It's over $100 cheaper than the Creighton and the Outcast. The Traxxas just came out with the Sledge at $800. It's $300 cheaper, more expensive than this thing. This thing saves you $300. How many spare parts could you buy for $300? I mean, oh my gosh. And 4S, single 4S running in this thing was a hoot. I had a blast. I cannot wait to get this out and try it some more. So honestly, I need to get the official Roadside RC stickers out. We need to brand it. We need to put the Roadside RC seal of approval on the MT8. Honestly, really, really good truck. Now, one of the things I want to say though is, you know, really, really fun. Little bit more wild and ruckus than that Red Cat Kaiju EXT that I had. If you're looking for something a little tamer, I would say in total power delivery, less wheelies, that kind of thing, maybe you want to look at that Red Cat Kaiju EXT. And so I'm going to put a link to one of my Kaiju EXT videos over here. So before you do make the final purchase decision on this truck, come check that one out. And you know, I mean, we noticed that it shares some parts, so go over there and see if maybe that one fits your needs a little bit better. And we will see you in that video. Thank you for your support, and goodbye.